All right, guys. Really nice win as the Utah Jazz continue their winning ways against the Chicago Bulls. This is the Hoops Nerd postgame show. Before we talk about the Jazz, I want to talk about the Bulls. The Bulls are fun. They're officially getting better. They're fun. I'm still not quite sold on Jim Boylen. Chicago fans, if you're watching this, let me know what you guys think. I remember when the Jazz were looking for head coaches and interviewing Quinn Snyder. There was like reported interest in Jim Boylen, and Utah has this weird relationship with Jim Boylen because of the University of Utah and how things went there and didn't go well. So you Jazz fans weren't excited about Jim Boylen, but who knows? Maybe it's working out for Chicago. I know there's been some weird things with like the practice controversy with practicing on game days or something like that. I haven't followed it as closely as you probably would expect me to talk about the Bulls. But I like what I see from the Chicago Bulls. They've just got a lot of young guys to really like. Lauri Markkanen, Wendell Carter. The Satoransky pickup was a really nice offseason pickup. They've just started making some pretty good moves and drafted pretty well. I like Kobe White, and we'll see what he becomes, but he looks like he has some talent to become something nice. And then you've got a wing defender in Chris Dunn. So they're an interesting team. Oh, and then by the way, Zach Lavine, who in the clutch is fantastic. I was legitimately terrified of Zach Lavine at the end of this game. He had that one long, deep pull-up three that he buried, and it got the game close. He's one of the best in the clutch this season too. One of the top three, along with like Chris Paul and Donovan Mitchell. So there's a lot to like if you're the Bulls and Bulls fans. You've just got to kind of let this thing grow. Let these players just get better. You don't want to rush it. You don't want to screw things up. Just let these guys grow. Let Wendell Carter become what he becomes. Let Lauri Markkanen develop and just get better. Learn the game more. Just learn to play better. And I tell you what, that Bulls defense was legit. I can't remember who I was listening to. I think it was the No Dunks podcast, was talking about just how good the Bulls defense has been, especially the last month. And it's legit. They fill lanes. They are long, athletic. Players like Chris Dunn averaging over 2 steals a game, they're legit on defense and make it hard. And the Jazz struggled that first half. The second half, it seemed like the Jazz kind of came up with game plan, which was basically get that ball to Rudy, because it looked like the Bulls were just rushing the ball handler. And pretty good strategy, honestly, considering that Donovan Mitchell is not playing with Mike Conley. But that's the difference right now with the Jazz, is Donovan Mitchell is handling those point guard duties. When the Bulls were rushing him, he's finding the open man or swinging the ball and getting the ball where it needs to go. Donovan Mitchell tonight, let's see. Just for curious, I haven't looked. 5 turnovers. So there was the struggle. You see that the Bulls were rushing him, but he also had 7 assists. So that tells you that Donovan Mitchell is figuring it out against the number 1 turnover defense in the league. And you can just see right there, 5 turnovers for Donovan. They were rushing him, and he was figuring it out, and it's nice to see. It tells you just how big it's going to be when Mike Conley comes back. Mike Conley coming back is going to be fantastic. And you watch, Bojan Bogdanović's numbers had a rough night tonight, except he ended really strong. His numbers are way better with Mike Conley on the floor. Like, he shoots like 7 to 10% better from the field when Mike Conley is playing. And that's because Mike Conley is facilitating, getting him the ball in shots he's more comfortable taking. With Mike Conley out and you're playing more Moutier, it's a little more of putting the ball in Bojan's hands. And he can do that. But I would say that Bojan's primary skill is just scoring, shooting the ball. Get the ball and shoot, or get the ball and drive to the rim on an open lane. That's where he's just devastating, just kills the other team. And so it's nice to see. The Jazz bench was massive tonight. The Jazz bench, it seems like maybe one of the only times this year, and it's no coincidence with Jordan Clarkson on this team, they outscored the Bulls bench. Tonight, George Niang, plus 19, team leading plus 19, dropping threes on the haters. All the haters. All you people talking bad about George Niang, you got to stop. The guy's a shooter, and the guy will score points. And when he's playing with better players, it's not surprising he plays better when he's getting open buckets. You've got Jordan Clarkson, who's been just fantastic for Utah. Tonight, Jordan Clarkson, 3 for 8. Not the greatest percentage, but 3 for 7 from 3 also 3 rebounds, and just doing what Clarkson does. It's really like the Joe Johnson effect from 3 or 4 years ago, where you just need a guy when things break down for the second unit that can go in and score a bucket. And that's what Clarkson gets you, and he can do that. And it was a little tougher tonight with a Bulls defense that's legit. I'm impressed with the Bulls. I'm impressed with their defense. They're going to just get better and better and better. You just hope that the coach is good enough to get them there. Finally, Rudy Gobert is an all-star. He's the defensive player of the year. He's the reason the Jazz won this game. For as much as we talk about Donovan Mitchell in the clutch, who's been fantastic, by the way, and Donovan Mitchell tonight, 17 points, 42% from the field, though 40% from 3, 7 assists. Donovan Mitchell, super solid. Rudy Gobert's been just as good in the clutch, just on the defensive end. Tonight, he made big bucket after big bucket at the end of the game as well. When they were rushing the ball handler and rushing Bojan and rushing Donovan, Donovan was finding Gobert, and he was rumbling to the lane and scoring, and it was fantastic. But it's not just that. It's just the defense at the end. When Zach Lavine goes to the hoop, and he's one of the best scorers in the league, he just scores at will at times. Rudy Gobert stops him at the rim. Big time stuff from Rudy Gobert. Every person who hasn't seen Rudy Gobert play who says anything about him, don't listen to him. Because it's a game like this that will draw the respect from a Bulls fan or from anyone else who actually watches the game. He wins you games. This Jazz franchise changed when Rudy Gobert started. When Enes Kanter left and Rudy Gobert got that starting role, this franchise changed more than with any other player. Whether it was Gordon Hayward, Donovan Mitchell, anyone. Rudy Gobert changed this franchise from the day he stepped on the floor. He is a superstar. He is a supermax athlete. He is an all-NBA center, arguably the best center in the NBA if you watch him on a night-in, night-out basis. Just watch what happens when Rudy Gobert gets a chance against Anthony Davis. Let's just see what happens, because it's going to be fantastic, guys. It's going to be solid. Anyone in this league now has to go up against Gobert in the playoffs with a Jazz offense that can score from all 4 positions on the outside. It's different than it's ever been for the Jazz, and now they have it. You have a 4-out offense with Rudy Gobert down below, and it's dominant, and it's why the Jazz are winning games now. Tonight, a very solid win against a Bulls team who's playing really well lately. Guys, like and subscribe to this channel. Hit the bell so when you know when I make a video and it's up. Guys, I'll talk to you later.